just a crazy nigga. No one doubted that he pulled.
What's up, y'all? It's Pluto. Welcome back to Classic Reactions, where we get into classic hits that I've never heard before. All right, y'all, so listen, tonight you guys know we are honoring the fellas here on Classic Reactions. And not only do we have Elvis Presley, Bob Dylan, but we also have Dean Martin. Yes, not one, not two, but three. Come on now. Who else doing it like this? Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Now, with that being said, right now we're getting into Bob Dylan, Hurricane. Come on, you better cause a hurricane.
Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night. Enter Betty Valentine from the upper hall.
Listen, I already like this. I'm sorry. I like it already. I like the instrumentals. I like the melodies. I like his voice. Let's keep going.
She sees a bartender in a pool of blood. Cries out, my God, they've killed them all. Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. 3 bodies lying dead as Patty C. And another man named Bello moving around mysteriously. I didn't do what he says, and he throws up his hands. I was only robbing the register, I hope you understand. I saw him leave and he says, and he stops. One of us had better call up the cops. And so Patty calls the cops. And they arrive on the scene with their red lights flashing in a hot New Jersey night.
Listen, this song is amazing. He's telling a story. He sounds amazing while telling the story. I'm loving the metaphors of the actual individual that he's singing about, being the hurricane itself and going through life, being held accountable in situations where he may not have even been responsible for whatever happened.
Meanwhile, far away in another part of town, Reuben Carter and a couple of friends are driving around. Number 1 contender for the middleweight crown. Had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down when a cop pulled him over to the side of the road. Just like the time before and the time before that. In Patterson, that's just the way things go. If you're black, you might as well not show up on the street unless you wanna draw the heat. Alfred Bello had a partner and he had a rap for the cops. Him and other Dexter Bradley were just out prowling around. He said, I saw 2 men running out, they looked like middleweights. Jumped into a white car without upstate plates. And Miss Patty Valentine just nodded her head. Cop said, wait a minute, boys, this one's not dead. So they took him to the infirmary. And though this man could hardly see, he told him he could identify the guilty man. Upstairs. The wounded man looks up to his one dying eye. See, why'd you bring him in here for? He ain't the guy. Here's the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
Mm, 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 mm. Imagine all the young men and women in a prison cell for anything that they did not do, and they could have been the champion of the world. Bob, oh, you did something when you made this. I'm sorry, you did this. Hmm.
4 months later, the ghettos are inflamed. Rubens in South America fighting for his name. While Arthur Dexter Bradley's still in the robbery game. And the cops are putting the screws to him, looking for somebody to blame. Remember that murder that you happened in a bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car, sneaking like to play ball with the law. Think it might have been that fighter that you saw running that night. Don't forget that you are white. Dexter Bradley said, I'm really not sure. The cop said a poor boy like you can use a break. We got you for the motel job and you're talking to your friend Bello. You don't want to have to go back to jail, be a nice fellow. You'll be doing society a favor. That son of a bitch is brave and getting braver. We want to put his ass in the stir. We want to pin this triple murder on him. He ain't no gentleman jail. Ruben could take a man out with just one punch, but he never did like to talk about it all that much. It's my work, he'd say, I do it for pay. And when it's over, just as soon go on my way up to some paradise where the trout streams flow and the air is nice, and ride a horse along the trail. But then they took him to the jailhouse where they tried to turn a man into a mouse.
Whew, I feel like I'm reading a good book or watching a good movie. This song is definitely top tier. The storytelling is amazing.
All of Ruben's cards were marked in advance. The trial was a pig circus, he never had a chance. The judge made Ruben's witnesses drunkards from the slums. To the white folks who watched, he was a revolutionary bum. And to the black folks, he was just a crazy nigger. No one doubted that he pulled the trigger. And though they could not produce the gun, the DA said he was the one who did the deed, and the old white jury agreed. Reuben Carter was falsely tried. The crime was murder when, guess who testified? Bello and Bradley, and they both they lied. And the newspapers, they all went along for the ride. How can the life of such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously framed couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game. Now all the criminals in the coats and their ties are free to drink martinis and watch the sunrise, while Reuben sits like Buddha in a 10-foot cell, an innocent man in a living hell. Yes, that's the story of the hurricane, but it won't be over till they clear his name and give him back the time he's done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
Bob, come on. Y- You doing it like that? Man, that was Bob Dylan, Hurricane. Y'all, that was absolutely one of the most compelling songs that I've ever heard. Like, no, I'm being serious. Did you not think so? Tell me what you thought below. I gotta know what you thought. And I can go on and on and on, but Bob's voice, chef's kiss, the lyrics, top notch. The storytelling in this song is literally an art form of its own. Like, i- he could have not even sounded as good as he did, and still this song would be so impeccable because of that storytelling art. And not only that, the instrumentals complemented everything just so perfectly.